Cross your left in front of your right. And sit up nice and tall. So yes, our target in-person date is on or about May 3rd, 5 weeks from Thursday. See when I get my second dose. Adjust your buttocks so that your sit bones are even on your blanket. Press your hands into the blanket behind you. Roll your arm bones back. Press down, lift up. Let your knees be heavy down. Let your thighs be heavy down. You want these inner groins to try to roll down towards the floor. You can even adjust the thighs a little bit so that they're turning in slightly. The shin bones turn out, the thighs turn in just a little bit, not much. And then the sit bones are down. Draw your abdomen back so that you feel space in the lower back. Squeeze your elbows back towards each other to open the chest. And maintain this height of your torso. Maintain the openness of your chest. Bring your hands together. Look straight ahead, let your eyes soften. And then slowly let your top eyelid come down to rest onto your bottom eyelid. Soften your throat, release your jaw. Soften your face and your forehead. Let your knees relax and release towards the floor. Let your elbows relax and release towards the floor. The arm bones have to have a little energy because they're rolling back. Take a nice deep breath in. Maitri Karuna Mudito Pakshanam Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanata Chitta Prasadanam Adayyo. With an inhalation, re-establish your posture. And then on an exhalation, bow your head, surrender your head to your heart. Release your hands to your thighs, palms up. And slowly raise your head, slowly open your eyes. Straighten your legs for just a second here, and then bring them into the opposite cross. So the right leg will be in front. Adjust your posture. Interlace your fingers. So do your best here, Jackie. I know it hurts, but do it. I promise it'll feel better in the morning. Press the heels of the hands up towards the ceiling. Navel back. Turn the bicep back, tricep forward as you move the arm bones back. There's no handstands today, so you're good. Bring your arms down, do the opposite cross of your fingers. Take your arms back up. Navel back, arm bones back. Now keep this height. Really reach out through the heels of your hands. Keep this height. Bring your hands down and take an easy twist to the right. Draw your navel back and turn. And to the left. Navel back and turn. And come back to center, uncross the legs, straighten out your legs. Let's take Ardha Mukha Virasana, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, and Uttanasana. Come onto your knees wide, toes together, and sit down onto the ankles. Take a moment there. You need to open up the backs of the ankles or the backs of the knees a bit more if you need some height. I'm quite recovered from spring break walking yet. Take a moment there, lift the knees and release the splash on the skin, the shin. And then crawl your hands forward. Keep the sit bones down onto the heels. So as soon as I lean forward, I press to get the sit bones down onto the heels. All right, and then slowly crawl your hands forward and bring your forehead down onto your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Keep even pressure on your hands. So you have to press into the index knuckle and the thumb a bit more, because as you turn those upper arm bones out, that will get light. So turn the upper arm bones out, but press the thumb side of the hand down. And press with both arms to take the sit bones back to the heels. And then lift your chin, look forward, and move the sides of the navel forward, the sternum bone forward. Feel each side of your torso and make it even. And then bring your forehead back down to rest. And then look forward. Come up on the hands and knees, curl your toes under, and lift up into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. So you're keeping that pressure on the index knuckle and thumb as you turn your biceps out, triceps in. So biceps to the ceiling, triceps to the floor, but without turning the forearms out. Lift way up high onto your toes. And lift your sit bones up, but keep your navel in. Don't hyperextend that lumbar spine. Lady in the bottom left corner. Pull back at your ankles, your shins, lower your heels to the floor. Pull back at your thighs. Pretend I am there with that strap around the tops of your thighs. And as you press into your hands, I pull back on that strap. Find that length through the sides of the torso. Okay, and then look forward, step your left foot forward, right foot forward, feet are wide. Let the weight shift to the front edge of your heel. Press into the inner toe, the inner heel, also the outer toe, outer heel, and lift your kneecaps up. Engage your quadriceps. Place your fingertips onto the floor and look forward to bring the upper back in, concave back. And then shift the weight onto your heels, hands on your hips, and inhale and come up. So I did something in yesterday's class, but I didn't really like it too much. So just have a seat for a moment and let's talk about the torso a little bit. So we're going to work on these twists. And I want you to think of twists in 3 parts, if you will. All right. So the place where the twist is the most beneficial is through the lower back. All right. But the place that is the hardest to twist is through the lower back. All right. It's pretty easy to turn your head, which turns your neck, right? You're not really turning your head, you're rotating your neck, right? It's pretty easy to turn the shoulders, right? I can turn my shoulders and not even turn this abdominal part at all. So we're going to work, Randy called this in class this week, the the Viloma twist. All right, so Viloma, you know, is where we segment the inhalation or we segment the exhalation. So that's what I want you to think of, although when we exhale, it's not from the top, middle, and down, it's from the bottom, middle, top. So go ahead and put your legs in any comfortable position, cross legs or Virasana, it doesn't matter. Actually, let's do this. Everybody come into Swastikasana. Let's be on the same page, it'll be easier. And Swastikasana is a pretty easy place to get the twist. Virasana is a little easy, but not as easy as Swastikasana. I don't care which way you cross, we'll do both crosses. All right, and have, if you're sitting up on blankets, make sure you have height that your hand can go on. So maybe it's the blanket, probably you can just reach your hand back to the blanket. All right, sit up nice and tall, take your right hand behind you and take your left hand onto your knee. So you can push your arms, you can prepare the arms for twisting without doing very much twisting, right? There's a little bit of a turn in the shoulders and chest that happens. Okay, now I want you to take a big deep breath in, lift up through your torso, even lift your chin so you feel that upper back come in. And then I want you to pull the navel back, all right? And you're gonna use kind of a sharp exhalation and turn the abdomen. Now see that? I'm not turning my head, I'm keeping my head just looking up at the ceiling. Turn in the abdomen. Then I can take a deep breath in again, lengthen the torso, and with an exhalation, turn at the lower ribs. And then one more time, deep inhalation, and on your exhalation, turn at your chest. Okay, and then release. I'm going to keep my eyes on all of you a little bit more this second time. All right, so sit up nice and tall, take the left hand behind, right hand onto the knee. Press down with your hands and your legs and lift up. Now the navel comes back, and with an exhalation, turn. And really try to pull with the hands and turn at the navel. And then a nice deep breath in, and on your exhalation, turn the rib cage. And then on your next, I'm sorry, I said inhalation, exhalation, turn the chest. Yes, and then exhale and release. All right, and then switch sides, switch the cross of your legs. Now, if you were there and I could, or if you were here and I could give you an adjustment, you know, I would put my hand turning to, this is the left for me, turning to the left, I would put my hand on your left shoulder and my other hand on your right shoulder blade, right? So it's the left side moving back, and it's the whole side, like if you could split your rib cage in half, pretend this is my back, you split the rib cage in half, and it's the right side of the rib cage that's turning, all right? So think of it, try to envision that assistance there with you. So take the right hand back behind you and roll that right shoulder back. Pretend there is a gentle hand on that shoulder, all right? And then right now, the hand is on your lower waist, all right? So inhale, come up tall, draw the navel back, and then that gentle hand is gonna pull the shoulder back and move the side of your waist around. Okay, and then the gentle hand is on your lower rib on the left-hand side. Inhale, and with an exhalation, that spot turns. Okay, and then the hand is on your left shoulder blade. Nice deep inhalation. And then it's going to roll that shoulder blade around. You can even roll your left shoulder forward to complete the twist. Okay, and then release. Okay, again, so there's a hand that's coming right along the lower waist, right where you're ticklish. So thank goodness it's your own hand. right? And then right around, we call this the kidney band. That's where your kidneys are, kind of hidden behind the lower ribs. And then the other place would be at the shoulder blade, all right? And so this front arm can actually roll forward, all right? So sit up nice and tall. Now the left shoulder is open and rolling back. Take a nice deep inhalation, draw your navel back, and on your exhalation, turn that waist. Really try to think of the waist turning. Whatever happens up top is just side effects. Lift up nice and tall, and on your exhalation, feel the lower rib turning. And one more time, inhale, and then you'll feel the whole top right half of the rib cage and shoulder blade turns. And release. Okay, grab a chair. Any chair will work as long as it doesn't have legs on it. So that chair that your fan is on will work, Susanna. Yeah, that'll work. We're going to take Parivrtta, Parsvakonasana. We're going to use the chair. We did it without the chair earlier. We're going to do it with the chair today, so that we don't have to worry about the balance and all that crazy stuff. I'm going to do this today. You can turn the chair multiple different ways. I'm going to have it so the back, I'm not going to use the back of the chair. I'm just going to use the front of the chair. All right. So I'll hook the right leg over the chair. You can let the left leg be bent right now. Now, when we get into these twists where we're twisting into the leg like this, we have to give ourselves space first, all right? The bulk of the twist is going to come on the first time we twist. And then the last bit of the twist is just wringing the last little bit out of it, all right? So with an inhalation, reach up through your left arm. Exhale and turn your navel now. Turn your navel and then just lean forward and hook the tip of the elbow onto the tip of the knee. So you're just barely hooking. All right, right hand is on the thigh. You press down and you really lift that navel up. Really lift it up. Press the elbow into the knee pushes back, and you turn at the navel. Feel it at the navel. Okay, and then to come deeper, we'll take the elbow towards the hip. All right, so I can come lower. And what I want you to feel is that that shoulder blade is starting to wrap forward. All right, so you're starting to, you can even reach that arm forward. All right, so now you're not quite resting on the thigh, but you can press into the elbow, into the knee. Exhale and turn at those lower ribs. Okay, and then you come all the way down as low as you can get. Reach that left arm across and try to get the back of the shoulder blade onto the outer knee. Now you can take your hand onto your hip, straighten the elbow, and then exhale and press through that left heel, straighten the left leg completely, right palm to the ceiling, over your head. Best that you can. I promise it'll feel better. Release. Whew. My kids are loving that I'm having to get vaccinations. They feel like it's been too long since I've had one and I need to remember the pain. Take your left leg over. Y'all feel twisted? Paula was so cute yesterday after class. She says, are we going to feel this tomorrow? Press into your thigh. Reach up through the right arm. Start your twist now. Turn as much as you can. Hook the elbow onto the knee, but stay up high. Lots of space between the abdomen and the thigh. Draw the navel in. And then exhale, turn. Then you're going to scrape that elbow. So bring it back Reach it out so you're turning the shoulder blade, and then you scrape, oh, and you turn at the kidney band, lower rib cage. All right, and then one more time, come all the way down. Try to lean over a little bit. Get the back of the shoulder blade on the knee. You can straighten the arm, turn. Take that left arm up, extend through your right heel, straighten your left leg, right leg, sorry. Good. And then release. Come up. Stand up in Tadasana. And then let's just take so that, because it is asymmetrical when we twist, even though we're trying to lengthen the sides evenly, they do get a little asymmetrical. So just with an inhalation, bring both arms up and find the symmetry in the sides. And release. All right, chair. You're going to sit in your chair. You can have a block in the event that your arm doesn't reach the floor. We're going to take Pasasana. We're going to do this one a couple of times. All right, so this is the same thing, just now both legs are out in front of me. All right, so you can press down onto, actually what's really helpful here is to take the legs over to the side. So with your right hand, push your legs over to the left, reach up through that left arm, turn, and come down and hook. Just the tip of the elbow onto the knee. So you have space, right? And then you take a deep inhalation, draw the navel back. And as you turn the navel, you can kind of push the legs over a little bit and turn. You can bring that right hand up onto your hip. Okay, and then we're going to deepen that twist. So bring that elbow closer to the hip, come down, you want to reach over, feel that that left side of the rib cage is moving to the right, and turn. Okay, and then come all the way down. Push those knees over to the side. Bring the back of the left rib shoulder to the knee. You can straighten the hand down to the floor and roll that right shoulder back and turn. Okay, and then release. Come up. The untwisting is hard. It always feels harder to go the other way. Reach up, cross the legs across the midline and hook. Just the tip of the elbow onto the knee. If you want, you can reach back and catch the back of the chair to kind of pull. All right, so draw that navel in. Oh, exhale and turn. Feel it at your belly. Feel it at the belly. All right, then you're going to come lower, scrape. Take the elbow back towards the hip. And as you scrape, turn at the lower ribs. Okay, and then one more time. Reach that right hand over to the left and try to get to the back of your shoulder blade. Straighten that arm. The other hand can be, I can't reach my chair. It's on the hip. And turn. Don't tuck your chin toward your chest. Lengthen your torso. Yes. All right, and then release and come up. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. The phenomenon that happens here is as you twist your torso, the knees shear. So even just turn and put your right hand on the back of the chair. It doesn't even take much twisting, okay? If you look down at your knees, your left knee is forward, your right knee is back, right? Because what's happening, you're turning your torso, so your pelvis is trying to turn. All right, so what we have to do here is the left knee has to pull back and the right knee has to move forward. All right, so we're gonna add that into the twist here. Now, I don't really worry about it until I'm done twisting. Right, so once I'm in that final position, then I think, oh, left knee back, right knee forward. Okay, sit up nice and tall, reach up through your left arm, take those legs over to the right, and hook the elbow onto the knee. Press down into the thigh, draw the navel back. Woo, turn. Press the elbow into the knee presses back. Then do it again. Elbow comes back to the hip so you can kind of get lower and you're turning that shoulder blade. Moving, it's not really turning, sliding it. Press and turn. Okay, and then one more time, see if you can get the elbow all the way down, the shoulder blade onto the knee, straighten the arm, roll back. Now, pull your left knee back, right knee forward. It'll feel nice. It'll feel nice when your pelvis aligns. Don't let your knees tip over to the left. Bring the knees straight up over the ankles. That'll push that left side over a bit more. And release. Set up nice and tall. Reach up through your right arm. Knees can come over to the left a bit. The right. You're right, my left. Don't go all the way down first. Elbow to the knee. Twist the belly. You can use your own hand to twist the belly. Right? And then you're working lower and you're reaching that arm across so that you're starting to get that shoulder blade to the outer knee. All right? And then finally, you get as low as you can get. Straighten, take the hand down. It can be on the floor or the block. Roll that left side back. Okay, now left knee back, right knee forward. And there's just like a little magic that happens in the pelvis. It doesn't help the twist any, but there's magic in the pelvis. All right, and then release. Sit up nice and tall. Stand up. You might have to shower after this class, or Vihasta. And back down. Let's take Ardha real quick. And then we're going to take Sirsasana if you're doing Sirsasana. Doesn't dog pose feel better? Twists are magic. They make everything easier. All right, and then walk your hands and feet towards each other, hands on your hips, and come up. If you are not going to take Sirsasana, then take Parsvakonasana, legs wide, and come forward. You can support your head on a block or on the floor. Have it resting on something. If you're taking Sirsasana, we will work a Parsva Sirsasana in. Go ahead and go to the wall if you'd like, and we'll do the Parsva Sirsasana at the wall. The thing I like about doing it at the wall is that you have a little bit more sense of where your legs are in space, because it's easy to get into a bad habit of turning and letting your legs go off to the side. In fact, if you look at his Parsva Sirsasana in Light on Yoga, he doesn't approve of that picture anymore. His legs are really leaning off to the side. All right, so just watch here real quick. Those of you who are doing Parsvakonasana, you can watch too. You don't have to be in your pose just yet. All right, so you want to be close to the wall so that your heels can be on the wall and you're not feeling like a banana. And that is easiest to just step up. Your butt gets in the way when you're that close to the wall. All right, so you know the drill here. Thumb side of the wrist to the pinky side of the wrist. Lift the shoulder blades. The upper back is in. Buttocks are lifting. Abdomen is back. All right, so then we'll turn to the right first. So what I'm doing is it's almost like there's a rod through the middle of my right leg, and that's what I'm turning around, because the right heel does move a little bit to the left as I turn. You'll see that? I'm not turning like that.
I'm letting this right leg slide over a little bit so that I stay centered, right? You reach up through the legs stay tight, and the legs turn as the abdomen turns. Okay? Parsva Sirsasana. Join me. Be very close to the wall so that when your feet are on the wall, you're not arching your lower back. And then just step up into Sirsasana. Press your wrists. Lift the shoulder blades. Scrub your heels up the wall. Move your buttocks up the wall. Abdomen back. Now, really maintain your foundation here. Press those wrists into the floor. Press the forearms into the floor. And the weight will be unevenly distributed when you turn. So you're going to maintain that even distribution. Reach up through the inner legs, tighten your knees, and turn your left hip to the right. So the outer right foot is on the wall, and your legs are straight up. You can also just stay in Sirsasana if you want. Turn back to center. Tidy up your pose. And reach up through the inner legs. Press the forearms evenly and turn. Right hip to the left. Let the outer left foot come onto the wall. Keep the right big toe knuckle pressed into the left big toe knuckle. Reach up through those heels. Excellent. Come back to center. I'm going to come down and I'm going to come watch you closer. You go at your own pace.
Press your wrists, lift your shoulder blades. Let the outer right foot be on the wall. Good, Jackie. Now, when you think I'm done, take a deep inhalation, draw your navel back, and then exhale and turn some more. And then come back to center. Press into your wrists and your forearms, lift your shoulder blades. Extend up through your legs, tighten your knees, really be firm in your legs here. And turn the right hip to the left. The outer left foot will be on the wall. Keep the pressure in your forearms even. You can go the other way, Erica, that's fine. And when you think I can't turn anymore, take that deep breath. And strong exhale, turn. Yes. And then come back to center. Count to 5. Press your forearms. Keep your shoulder blades lifted as you step down your left foot and then your right. And come down and rest in Adho Mukha Virasana. Erica, that looks good. And come down. Rest. Are you ready? Are you ready for more? I got more. Grab a bunch of heights. So I've been using one blanket folded like normal sitting blankets. And then I've been taking 2 blankets on top of that and folding. So those of you that have bolsters, you could grab a bolster and then put a little more height on top of that if you wanted to. So I've folded these other blankets into little pouches, right? Because the more height you have, I think the easier this is. All right, we're taking Marichyasana 3, and we're doing, and I think we did this on Monday night, we're taking it where we're pushing forward onto the foot. Now, if that is problematic for your foot, your toes, your knees, whatever it is, you don't have to do the leaning forward part. I just find that it makes it a little bit more like Parivrtta, Parsvakonasana, and it allows gravity to help with the twist. Here, let me do the same side as you to begin with. All right. So I'm just using this height because actually the sitting back down is challenging. So this makes it so I don't have to fall quite so far. All right, so just watch real quick. I'm pulling this foot in. It can come back and rest on the blanket so your heel is up. That's perfectly fine for this version. Right, and then I'm gonna lean forward and be up on my toe. So this can be tough on some knees. It can be tough on some toes. If you can't lean forward, then stay with your buttocks on the blankets. That's fine. Right, but I'm going to come forward and then I'm going to treat it just like the Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. You can even bend this knee for support if you need to, but I'm going to treat it just like we did on the chair. Barely elbow to knee, press and turn. Come back and scrape, press and turn. All the way down, press and turn. Then I'm just going to push and take my buttocks back down onto the blankets. All right, so let's try that. Bend the right leg up. Pull the foot in very close. The heel can be up. This left leg, if you keeping it straight, if you feel stable with it straight, you can keep it straight. If you want to bend it, if that gives you a little bit more leverage to get the twist, play with it and see what works for you. Okay, come forward. I'm favoring this knee right now, so it's getting bent. Reach up through that left arm and turn. And now it's just that tip of the elbow to the tip of the knee. And you're going to press and draw the navel back and turn it. This is where the bulk of the twist comes, is this very first time. Now, scrape the elbow back towards the hip. And remember, you're trying to roll that shoulder blade to the right. And then scrape and turn. Turn the lower ribs. Use an exhalation. Okay, and then come back. Get the elbow all the way back towards the hip, armpit onto the knee. Then with both hands on the floor, you can gently take your buttocks down, straighten the left leg, and turn. You can catch that blanket that's under your buttocks and turn. Now take a deep breath in, look up towards the ceiling, bring your upper back in, and squeeze any last bit out of the twist. And release. Straighten the leg. And we'll switch sides. You don't have to turn, I'm just turning so I can keep my eyes on you. Bend the left leg. Pull it all the way back. All right, and then you're gonna lift yourself up if you can, if this is the side that you need to stay down on, you can. All right, but come up. You can take that hand and kind of turn the thigh in, bring the knee across the midline a bit, reach up and turn. Hook that elbow onto the knee, draw your navel strongly back, and with an exhalation, turn. Okay, and then at least 2 more times. Elbow to the hip, scrape and turn at the lower ribs. Reach that arm across and try to take that shoulder blade to the outer knee. Okay, and then you can gently ease yourself back. Keep the armpit at the knee. Straighten the left leg. Catch the blanket back behind you. Now, chin is connected to the sternum bone. Lift up, bring that upper back in, and then with the elbow and then the right hand or left hand, turn. Look back over that left shoulder and turn the lower abdomen. Yes, and then release. Straighten out the left leg, slide off of your cotton tower there, your polyester tower, and just press the backs of the knees down towards the floor. But course, we know that's not Marichyasana 3. That's Marichyasana 3 up on a whole bunch of height. So take out some of your height now. Now, be on the height that you need to be on, okay? I'm just gonna take one of these blankets that we folded into the little pouch. So that would be like 2 blankets worth of height. You need the amount of height that's gonna let you come forward. All right, so if you find that you just can't get forward enough to that leg, then take a little bit more height, because this is where, this is why the standing poses come first. Because we eliminate some things in the standing poses, right? We eliminate the hamstrings when we're in the standing poses. Here the hamstrings are in play because the legs are out in front of you, right? Sit up nice and tall. You can have a block. Forgot to say that. You can have a block behind you. That will be helpful, right? Because we're going to lean back, create that space. Reach up through the left arm, turn and hook the elbow onto the knee. Okay, and then the arm presses into the knee presses back. Pull that navel back and turn the navel. So sharp exhalation. Now let the knee drop toward the midline and across as you reach that left arm forward and down. Scrape and turn. And then one more time. Even if your armpit is already on your knee, go one more time. Oh, lean, push with your right hand to get that armpit right onto the knee. Okay, and then you scrape that arm and you turn. Now, pull your outer left foot towards your hip and bring your right hip forward, just like you did in Pasasana on the chair. Y'all see that? That hip has to come forward. The left side has to come back, so my pelvis is square. All right, chin up, upper back in. And release, straighten your legs. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what got into me. Just needed some twists. Switch sides. Left leg comes up. Bye, Boomer. Pull the left leg in. The toes can turn a little bit towards the right leg. That'll help with the leaning across the midline. It doesn't stay across the midline, right? You want, in the end, you want that knee straight up because that's going to help. That's my hand on the back of your shoulder blade, pushing you into the twist. Block, lean back, create space. Space comes first. And turn that navel. Hook, elbow onto the knee. Now you got to start sitting up straight. So you use that hand on the block to lift you up. All right? And then you start to come forward. Let the knee come across the midline. You can push it with your right hand. Scrape, oh, and turn. Exhale. One more time. At least 3 times minimum. Okay, and turn. Now, outer right foot to the hip. This outer left hip rolls forward. Okay, and then really roll into the outer foot. Keep the hip forward, but roll into the outer foot on the left side. So that knee presses that shoulder blade forward. Look up, lift up. Good. Exhale. Release. Straighten out the leg. Slide off of your support and just come down into Dandasana. For Ardha Matsyendrasana, I want to not sit on the foot. When we sit on the foot, it hurts, our attention goes elsewhere. So we're not going to sit on the foot. You all know that's classic version, but I really want you to I want you to start to see how these twists are different. right? And some twists are so much easier than others. So give yourself height. Those of you that have a bolster, one bolster is good. If you need a stack of blankets, then you can stack up your 3 blankets. All right, so rather than sitting on the foot, we're going to sit on the blanket. So it just looks like this. All right, I have to think about it a second. You're going to twist to the right. So your left leg will be under, and your right leg will be over, and then you'll twist. And you have these blankets sticking out behind you. So for me, it's my left hand. It'll be your right hand on the first side. It's coming back behind me and catching the blankets, right? So the palm is facing forward, all right? So go ahead and sit. We'll twist together. I'll give you some tips. Take your left leg under. Now, this left leg can be positioned where it needs to be positioned. I suppose it could be too far over, all right? But the challenge with this twist is really leg length and flexibility. So if you get to here and you can't get this whole foot down, move this left leg more towards the right and see if you can pull, because you want this foot firmly on the floor. There are different things that you can do. You can play with the height under the buttocks. Maybe you need a little bit more height. Ultimately, if you need to, you can add height under the foot. Okay, now, the toes are somewhere in line with the heel. No, that's not the heel, that's the knee. I had 2 hours on the knee today and I forgot that's the knee. My ankle and my thigh just fit together really well if my toes are a little bit forward, okay? Now, press that leg over to the left as you turn the belly to the right. Reach up through that left arm and hook it, just the tip of the elbow onto the knee. Right hand comes around behind and catches the left side of the blankets, and then you press and turn. You draw that navel back, sharp exhalation, turn. And then you can take the right hand to push the thigh, come forward more, turn, exhale, turn. One more time. Really feel that this left side of your rib cage is moving to the right. Get the armpit all the way onto the knee. Maybe you can straighten your arm and catch your foot or your knee, either one. Okay, and then press that knee into the back of the shoulder and turn. Lift up through your chin and sternum bone. Bring that upper back in. And then inhale, exhale, belly turns. Inhale, exhale, lower ribs turn. Inhale, exhale, roll that shoulder forward. Good, and then release and switch sides. This is my favorite twist. This version of it. I don't like sitting on my foot. I cry when I have to sit on my foot. This is also, I think, not so deep, but after you've done a lot of back bends in particular, but even after forward bends, this upright version of Ardha Matsyendrasana really helps to release the back. All right. See if you can get that right foot, left foot all the way down onto the floor. And if not, try a little bit more height under your buttocks. Try crawling the right leg more to the left. Right? And then that left hand comes back. You lean back, you create space, and you turn with an exhalation. Hook the tip of the elbow onto the knee. Take that big deep breath and sit up tall. Exhale, turn. Come forward. You have to push with that left hand. Come forward. Take the knee across some more and scrape and turn. One more time. Move the thigh to the right and get that back of the shoulder blade onto the outer knee. And then that knee moves. Doesn't stay across, it moves. You can reach down and either catch the knee or the ball of the foot. With the left hand, roll the left shoulder back. Okay, now on your own, inhale, exhale, navel, lower ribs, chest, and lift up. Press down with your hands and lift up through your chin. Wonderful. Release. Straighten your legs. Slide off of your support. Come down to Dandasana. You know what? Let's do this because I think it would feel good. We have one more twist to do. I said two, but it's just one. Two sides. Lay down on your sticky mat and be in Supta Tadasana. So straighten the legs, grab the side of the sticky mat, be in Supta Tadasana. So you're finding a little bit of symmetry, but it's a little softer. If you're close to the wall, you can take your feet to the wall. Oh, that'll be nice. Tuck your arm bones under, shoulder blades towards the waist. Press the fronts of your thighs to the backs of your thighs. Take an inhalation and bring your arms up over your head. You can let your fingernails rest onto the floor. Palms up. Take a few deep breaths. Find your symmetry here. All right, bring your arms back down by your sides. You do need a wall space now. You don't necessarily need a mat. You can take your mat to the wall if you want to. You'll need a blanket if when you squat, you don't keep your heels on the floor. Okay, so I need a blanket. If the knees are not happy in Malasana, you can repeat the Pasasana on the chair. We've already done it on the chair. We're going to do it on the floor now. Okay, so you can watch first because you're going to have hands at the wall, and I don't know if you're oriented where you can see the screen or not. So I'll go into it kind of quickly here. So I'm just using the height under the heels because I can't get my heels flat. And you want to be about a forearm's distance from the wall. So if you stand up and put your palm on the wall and you can, your elbows up against your side, then that's about the distance you want to be. Try to do this with your big toe knuckles touching. Your heels can be a little bit apart if they need to be. You'll know if you need to separate the legs, but it's really better with the legs together. All right, so I'm going to come into a Malasana with the knees together. So I'm not trying to go forward between the legs. All right, and then this right hand can be on the wall. I'll reach up through the left arm, hook the elbow onto the knee, and now you see I can put my fingertips on the wall here. And then it's all the same as what we've been doing. You let the knees drop to the opposite side as you work to get into the pose. But you've got your hands on the wall for stability. Okay, now what do we know about the knees? You can kind of see it, it's head on, you can't see it quite so good. But my left knee's way forward, my right knee's way back. So I'm going to get into my twist, and then I'm going to bring that left knee back, right knee forward. And they're better. All right, they're not perfect, they're better. All right, so let's try. All right, so just stand at the wall with your elbow right next to your side and your palm on the wall. And then you'll know you're about the right distance apart. Okay, join your big toe knuckles. Have your heels up on the blanket if you need it. Don't use it if you don't need it. Okay, and then you're gonna bend with your arms out parallel to the floor, bend your knees. Keep them together and squat. And I want you to start working squatting into your home practice. Right, just at some point during the day, you're on a conference call, but no video, try this. All right, just brushing your teeth. You can brush your teeth like this. All right, right hand on the wall. Drop the knees over to the left and hook the elbow onto the knee. And then what do we have to do? We have to make space. So deep inhalation, draw the navel back and kind of get up off the thigh and then exhale, turn. Turn that belly. Okay, now you're gonna work deeper. Remember, ultimately we clasp around both legs. All right, so you gotta get low. Bring that elbow, lean towards the wall, bring the elbow towards your hip so you're getting the back of the shoulder blade to the wall or the knee, and scrape and turn. Exhale and ooh, the lower ribs turn. And then really lean into that thigh, close all the gap between you and your thigh. And deep inhalation, exhale, turn. Now, just take my word for it. You may even feel that your left heel is way up off the blanket. Press that left heel down into the blanket and push your right shin forward. Good. And then for me, I just release and fall over onto the blanket. It's really nice if you have a corner and you end up leaning against the wall. Pasasana. Guess what? You have two sides. All right, so you're gonna turn now, put the left side of you to the wall. If that means you have to turn your back to me, that's fine, no worries. All right. Get that left elbow against your side, palm onto the wall, and then step up onto your blankets. Okay, and then palms parallel to the floor, arms parallel to the floor. You keep the knees in, bend. So this is the very first beginner stage of Malasana right here. But we're keeping the knees together. Let them drop to the right and hook the right elbow onto the left knee. Okay, create space, suck the navel back, and then elbow into the knee and turn. Okay, and then you're working your way forward into the pose. So turn the shoulder blade, scrape and turn, exhale, rib cage. Come forward, close that gap. This one I have to do maybe 4 times instead of 3 to close the gap. Take the knees to the right, all right? And then press that elbow into the knee presses back. Now feel what's happening in your legs. Press that right heel down, left shin forward, but turn. Look up over your left shoulder. Whew. And then release. Set your booty down, legs out straight. Pasasana. Let's take Marichyasana, downward facing dog pose. It'll feel really, really nice. Almost easy, dare I say. All right, and then step your legs forward. Just concave back, Uttanasana, and then shift onto your heels. Inhale, come up. All right, Sarvangasana, and what we're going to do in Sarvangasana is Ekapada and Parsvakonasana. So where we take the toes over the head and out to the side. I'll show real quick, since y'all won't be able to see. And I'll come down and watch. There is a twist that we can do in Sarvangasana, but we're not going to do it today. This is recovery time here. All right, I want y'all to watch one thing here. So don't go up yet. Come to your screen and watch. We've hit on this a little bit in the twists. And I think it really helps. None of you are beginners anymore. So beginners, I have to constantly say, extend through your heel, because what do beginners do? They don't straighten their legs, right? So you just have to convince them to straighten their legs, all right? Little more subtle action though is to reach through the inner heel. Let me do it on this side. Reach through the inner heel to straighten the leg, but from the outer foot to the outer hip, you actually pull back. You'll see that? Okay, so that's what you're gonna work on in your Ekapada and your Parsva Ekapada here. Okay, so you'll do this all really well, right? You're gonna get a nice tuck of the arms and step up into your Sarvangasana. Okay, so now watch, I'll do my left side so you can see it. I have to reach up and I have to bring the leg down. But then rather than continuing to reach forward, do you see that? Continuing to reach forward to take the foot down, I'm going to, from my outer left foot, pull back and then reach the leg down. It actually goes down much easier. Same thing when you go out to the side. You'll get kind of to that halfway point and then ensure that the leg is straight, reach through the inner side, but pull back from the outer side and then go straight down. You'll be surprised how close the floor feels. The floor just kind of smacks you, all right? Give it a try. Just go up into Sarvangasana first. Kick over into your Halasana. If you want to use a chair or a stool, you can. Or a wall, perfect. Tuck your arm bones really good. You can use a strap. I just didn't take the time. Press into your outer arm bones. Get that upper back to lift. Crawl the hands down your shoulder blades. And step up into Sarvangasana. Feel what this Sarvangasana feels like. Everything feels better after hip work and twists. Now look up at your feet. And there's an extension all the way from your inner groin to your inner knee, to your inner ankle, to your inner heel up. Make that inner edge of your foot lift up. And then from the outer side of your foot, you pull down to the hip. It's not as noticeable when your legs are straight up like this, but you'll really feel it when you bend, when you flex the hip. All right, so press into your arms evenly. Keep the shoulder blades lifted, upper back in. Keep the left leg reaching up. Bring your right leg parallel to the floor. Just parallel to the floor. Now ensure that that right leg is straight. Reach out from the inner edge of your foot, but then from the outer edge of your foot, pull back. Feel a shift in the pelvis. And then keep it back, but reach that big toe down towards the floor. And press the toe into the floor and lift your thigh up. And then pull up through the left leg to bring the right leg back up. Press the arms evenly. Reach up through the right leg, reach out through the left. Or the other side, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. There you go. Now, ensure that that knee is straight. You have to extend through the inner edge of the leg, but then from your outer knee, pull back to your hip. Feel that femur inject into the hip socket. Now, take your toe down towards the floor. Yes. And when the toe touches the floor, you can press down into the foot, lift the thigh, really pull from the outer foot to the outer hip. And then pull up through the other leg to bring the left leg up. Now turn your right leg out. So put your right heel into your left arch. Let the knee point out to the side. And now do that same thing. Reach up through the left leg. Let it be your anchor. Pull the hip into the socket and then take the toe down. The toe touches, you press the toe down, you lift the thigh up. And then pull up through your left leg to come back up. Elbows are getting a little wide, Susanna. Put your feet back on the wall and tuck your elbows more. There you go, tuck, 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 tuck. All right, second side. Turn the left leg out, heel into the arch. Go to halfway and then pull back. Femur into the socket, now toe down. Yes. Straighten your knee. When the toe, yes, there you go. Toe touches, lift up, and then pull up through the right leg to bring the left. Susanna, we need to put you in a little box so you can't fall side to side. It happens to all of us. All right, once more on your own. Each side forward, each side out to the side. Come forward first. Press your elbows, Susanna. Press your elbows down so you don't, yeah. Inject the femur into the socket and then toe down. When the toe touches, then you have a little more leverage to ensure that the knee is straight and the thigh is lifting up towards the ceiling. It doesn't have to go that much out to the side, Susanna. It can go kind of over your shoulder out to the side. Doesn't have to be, yeah. There you go. And then when you're done, just be in Sarvangasana or Halasana, either one. Right, and then you can slowly make sure your strap is off, slowly come out. Rest for a few breaths. And then roll to your side and sit up. We're going to go to Shavasana, so you can have whatever you'd like to have for Shavasana. But to begin with, I want you to just have a blanket for your head and a strap. And then if you want a bolster under your knees or a chair under your knees, something like that, you can have that nearby. What I want you to do, because a lot of what we did was rolling the thighs in here, I want you to take just a short and not a huge Supta Baddha Konasana. So you can have the blanket just under your head. You can have the strap over the ankles, and then just tuck the arm bones and pull the feet into Baddha Konasana. Tuck the buttocks towards the heels. Let the knees come wide. And then bring the knees together, let go of the strap, bring the knees together. Now, if you want something, you can grab it. If you're happy just in a flat Shavasana, then stretch one leg out, other leg out, and rest in Shavasana. If you want something under the knees, go ahead and grab it. Let your arms and your legs just completely relax. From the sole of the foot to the heel, to the knee, to the hip. From the palm of the hand to the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. Soften your abdomen. Soften your throat. Release your jaw. Soften and quiet your ears. Soften and still your eyes. Release the muscles of your face, your forehead, and the crown of your head. Let your attention be on your inhalation. Let your exhalation help you to release and let go. If you'd like to stay longer in Shavasana, please do. Otherwise, on an inhalation, bend your elbows, rest your palms onto your torso. Carefully bend one knee and then the other. Take that moment there with the soles of the feet on the floor. And then slowly and carefully roll to your side. Take all the time that you need to sit up. Pass with your arms. Keep your head low and your eyes closed. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming to class and continuing your practice. And slowly raise your head, slowly open your eyes. A lovely rest of the weekend.